I think this really serves as a sort of timely reminder, Mike, of the just enormous tax burden that households are facing right now. I mean, just look at all the angles that we're getting taxed from. You've got VAT, fuel duty, sugar tax, and alcohol duties all rolled into this. And what we're seeing is that Brits are going to be paying about £5.2 billion in tax this Christmas. But £190 per household. If you think how much money that is in December, Mike, of all months,
yes.
I think that's going to be quite an unpleasant surprise for a lot of people this Christmas.
Well, I think it is. Well, everything's gone up in price. We were hearing that that the inflation's running at something like 5.1%, which means everything you thought was going to cost a lot less is actually costing. In addition to all the other bits and pieces, you're going to be probably spending, quite a considerable amount more, maybe as much as 10% more than last year.
No, exactly. It's right to contextualise this conversation in terms of the sort of spiralling costs that we're seeing. As you mentioned there, yesterday we heard news of inflation hitting at a 10-year high. That means, of course, people are going to be dragged into paying more income tax as a side effect of that. But, on the top of that as well, you've got petrol prices are soaring, council tax hikes are already being agreed at this point of the year. I think taxpayers are absolutely stretched to their limits at the moment, and they're contending with a 70-year tax burden high, which we've got a government that seems has no intention of alleviating that strain.
All right. So when we get the April sort of rise in national insurance, it will be even worse, won't it?
Well, exactly. That's going to consolidate it all. I mean, this is just the icing on the cake, I think, or maybe the the branded cream on the Christmas pudding. But I think what we hear when we have this conversation is that people on the other side of the argument will often say, well, these tax rises or this level of taxation is inevitable because of what we've seen through the pandemic. But that's basically rubbish. And what I'd like to say is that we shouldn't be cutting taxes in spite of the pandemic. We should be cutting taxes because of the pandemic.
Yeah,
right. The aim should always be to leave people and businesses with more money in their pockets so that they can then spend that money and sort of play a part in revitalising the economy, which
Absolutely
is just
right.
what we need right now.